Hello and welcome to Tech Trends with me, Olayemi Odunuga. On this week's show, young secondary school girls in Lagos are encouraged to take up careers in STEM during an AI empowerment camp. And I talked to Dr. Ola Brown, General Partner of HealthCap Africa on Africa's venture capital scene. But as always, this is the program that takes you on a ride in 25 minutes to seek out innovation and creativity that are unique to Africa. Women need to lead the way to change our culture of burnout, both for their sake and also for the sake of successful men who desperately need a new model of success. And the still very mature world of STEM is a great place to start. Nigeria is seeking top AI researchers of Nigerian descent globally to help co-create a national artificial intelligence strategy for the country. In a white paper to describe the approach of identifying Nigerian AI researchers, the Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosun Tijani, said the National Information Technology Development Agency, NITDA, has already started developing a national AI strategy, and this process is to expand the co-creation approach. He also said the models have been trained to identify Nigerian names. The government's recognition of artificial intelligence as a multi-purpose technology with the potential to significantly impact economic growth and social progress contributes to why it wants to harness AI for sustainable development. After a 2-week artificial intelligence empowerment camp tagged Solve with AI, young secondary school girls between the ages of 13 and 17 have been encouraged to embrace technology and the opportunities it offers. The She Creates camp tasked the girls to solve complex issues using artificial intelligence. And one of the projects built by them is an automated water dispenser machine that operates with human sensors. According to a report by the World Bank, women make up less than a third of the world's workforce in technology-related fields. And 2023 statistics from Women in Tech Network show that at the current pace of change, it will take about 132 years until the economic gender gap is closed. This disparity in the numbers of women in STEM is part of the reason why the Women Technology Empowerment Center, WTech, is empowering young secondary school girls with STEM skills. During an artificial intelligence empowerment camp with the theme Solve with AI, the girls were challenged to solve complex issues using artificial intelligence. They built an automated waste bin and an automated water dispenser that operate with just human sensors.
This is the automatic bin. It's a bin that opens automatically. When you put your hand near the sensor, this is the sensor. So once you put your hand near the sensor, it just opens automatically and it closes by itself. So this is the servo motor, which allows the bin to open and close when you put your hand at the ultrasonic sensor. So inside the bin, there is an Arduino Uno, which is the board that connects all these components together, and it is done by coding. We use an app called PictoBlocks to write the code for everything so it can work. So when you put your hand at the ultrasonic sensor, the thing just opens by itself.
This project pumps water without us needing to make any physical contact with any of it. So the components used in making our project are the pump, which is placed at the bottom of the container. The pipe is attached to the pump and it pumps water when the machine is on. This is the infrared sensor, also known as the IR sensor. It senses the movement of our hand and it sends a signal to the pump in order for it to pump water out of the pipe. The pipe is connected to the pump and it pumps water from the bottom of the container. So when we connect, the point of this project is to stop the wastage of water and also stop spreading of germs.
The organizers say the She Creates camp is aimed at encouraging more females to take on STEM career paths.
All our programs are targeted at inspiring girls and women as well to use technology. So we're trying to build their skills and their knowledge and awareness about science, technology, engineering, and maths. So this camp is one of the ways that we do it. It's a 2-week residential program where we bring a group of girls together and we educate them about those different subjects. We also focus on arts as well. So it used to be tech, expanded to STEM, and now it's STEAM. So we have the arts as well, exactly. So the whole purpose of this camp is to, number one, create awareness about the gender gap in the STEAM fields, especially the STEM fields, and then also to help build their skills as well. So we do this through hands-on sessions where they're learning different things. So this year, our theme is Solve with AI. So AI is one of those technologies that is emerging. It's been around for many years, but really over the last few years, it's really come to prominence. And it's very important to have girls and women operating in this space as well. So they're also contributing towards helping to develop artificial intelligence that we are all using.
We've trained the girls about how to build machines that use AI. Not just mechanical working machines, but machines that use AI to teach them how to adopt AI into many of the activities and solutions they want to build for their needs in the society. And not only that, we also taught them how to build apps, how to build crafts, as you can see. So the camp is something designed to spark the talents in the girls, and I can tell you that within the 2 weeks, many of the girls have discovered talents they didn't even know they have.
The 2-week intensive summer camp introduced the girls to the rudiments of AI with the hope of arousing their interest in technology. ARM Labs, formerly known as Labs by ARM, has concluded a 6-week pre-accelerator program for selected startups of the 5th cohort of the ARM Labs Innovation Program. This year's innovation program was expanded to accommodate startups working in the fintech, pentech, data intelligence, and digital trade space. A collaboration between Asset and Resource Management Holding Company and TVC Labs to support ARM's mission to train and invest in compelling Nigerian startups in the incubation stage.
We believe the more that it was a good decision to venture into this area. Today we have about 3 programs and counting in the innovation space. Basically, I think what is happening affects our business in 2 ways. The first being basically as an asset class, providing it to our clients and potential clients as an asset class so that you diversify and you're part of this growth. The second one being innovation.
The idea, all right, is not just another accelerator for just another set of startups. Okay? The idea is more fundamental.
Over 500 applications were received, but only 5 startup founders were selected to participate.
What we're seeking to achieve is to find interesting technology startups that are innovating in ways that we admire, that we feel can enable us unlock new opportunities for both us and the startups.
These 5 carefully chosen startup founders, after a robust incubator journey, now present their pitch deck.
Africa has a huge potential. With a population of over 1.2 billion people.
After participating in the program, the startups will not only get up to $50,000 in funding, they will also receive guidance from mentors and have access to an investor network.
You have to be extremely, extremely disciplined in deciding that, no, this is not what I'm looking for. And it can be tough. But what I would say is, even looking at the 5 that we chose 6 weeks ago and the 5 that pitched today, there's been a significant difference.
The ARM Labs Innovation Program is an intensive support program for selected Nigerian startups to help improve their products, expand their market, and strengthen their team skill set to enhance their chances of success. Ride-hailing firm Uber has launched an electric motorbike service in Kenya. It's first in Africa, as the company seeks to make its global platform emissions-free by 2040. Uber's general manager for Sub-Saharan Africa says the rollout in Kenya will be followed by a potential announcement this year for the rest of its markets in the region.
We are launching a fleet of electric bodas that will be zooming around the city. And we're really excited for the citizens to be able to experience this product. And as soon as you get onto it, you'll experience lower vibrations, less sound.
Uber's other markets in Sub-Saharan Africa are Nigeria, Ivory Coast, Ghana, Uganda, Tanzania, and South Africa. The firm's new green product in Kenya, dubbed Electric Boda, in a nod to the Swahili term for motorbike taxis, will comprise 3,000 bikes within 6 months, or just under a fifth of its fleet. The company says drivers will see a 30 to 35% drop in their operating costs, and users of the platform will pay 15 to 20% less than they do for a regular Uber motorbike trip. Kenya currently generates more than 90% of its power from renewable sources and has been positioning itself as a hub to lead Africa's shift to green transport. Uber previously carried out small pilots for electric bikes with external partners.
These electric motorbikes are not only for Nairobi. They'll be going to Kakamega, Mombasa, the coastal region. How will we be charging? So again, the government needs to come to that.
The growth of the electric vehicles market in Africa has been slowed by a lack of adequate electric charging infrastructure and associated equipment. Sensing an opportunity, local firms have been setting up battery swapping stations in major cities like Nairobi to save drivers time. Motorbike transport is a big employer in Kenya, absorbing millions of people who are unable to secure formal jobs. A green hydrogen pilot plant has opened in Rio de Janeiro with hopes that it will promote the sustainable energy source with the help of H2-powered bicycles. The project, born from a Brazilian-German partnership, aims to research the potential use of H2 or green hydrogen in areas such as urban mobility.
The idea is to decarbonize the transport sector and show the technical viability of people having mobility either with delivery of goods in urban spaces or an ecological bicycle without a battery using metal, for example rare metals. But it will have another technology based on hydrogen which gives a 150-kilometer autonomy and is sustainable.
As everybody knows, green hydrogen is the energy of the future, and Brazil has the best chances to produce green hydrogen. The green hydrogen is not the solution for everything. Green hydrogen is a solution for specific applications, which can be these bicycles that seem small, but they are not, because the micro-mobility is an important aspect of many cities.
The pilot plant will use solar panels to produce hydrogen, and 2 H2-powered bicycles will be made available to the public. The project is run by the Alberto Luis Coimbra Institute for Graduate Studies and Research in Engineering, a research center at the Federal University of Rio de Janeiro in partnership with the H2 Brazil project. From being a medical doctor to an entrepreneur and now a venture capitalist, Dr. Ola Brown has worn many hats in the course of her career. She's practiced as a medical doctor, after which she founded Flying Doctors Nigeria and then Green Tree Investment Company. Dr. Brown is currently a general partner of HealthCap Africa, which is an investment firm that focuses on early-stage investment in the health tech and fintech industries. And she's also an author who has published 5 books. On Tech Trends this week, she'll be sharing her thoughts about Africa's venture capital scene. Enjoy the chat.
A venture capital company is like a bank. We take money from customers, but we loan it out to start-up companies. And a bank typically would give loans that are expected to be paid back with a certain interest rate, while a venture capital firm uses the money from their customers to buy equity stakes in companies. So they don't pay it back in the same way as a loan. And a venture capital firm would take a share in that company and then look for a liquidity event to exit that equity stake.
There seems to be a lot of attention on the Africa venture capital scene. What makes it such a hot spot for investment right now?
Oh, absolutely. So Africa is the fastest growing population in the world in terms of demographics. It's also one of the fastest growing consumer markets in the world because the population is growing so quickly. And it's one of the fastest urbanizing regions of the world, meaning that there's a lot of movement from rural to more urban areas. It's also the world's youngest continent. So when you look at some states in America, for instance, some parts of Europe, the average age can be 50 or 60. The average age in Africa is 19. So people want to invest in markets that they see as dynamic. About 20 years ago, people saw that same sort of opportunity in China, where China has gone from being, not particularly influential on the global economic scene to the second biggest economy in the world. And people see that this rapid population growth, rapid urbanization, rapid mobile adoption as a trend that they saw in China before, so they've seen it before, and they know what comes next, which is, massive economic growth, and they want to be a part of that consumer growth story.
And in your opinion, and based on your wealth of experience, is the venture capital model working for African businesses?
I think it depends on your strict definition of the venture capital model. I think the venture capital model is a way of supporting fast-growing businesses with debt instead of with equity instead of debt. And we've already seen, before HealthCap, I also ran a fund called Green Tree Investments, along with my partners. And we were able to, or we've already been able to give a 3x return to investors, which means that we're able to give back to investors 3 times the money that they gave us. You wouldn't really see that in a public equity market. Neither would you see that in a fixed income asset class. So I think the venture capital model is working in Africa. I think that there are nuances to it that you have to be aware of when picking the companies and when supporting the companies. But definitely there's no other asset class that gives those kind of returns.
Well, Dr. Brown, could there possibly be a downside to this big tech investment in Africa?
I think that investment and foreign direct investment is a big part of economic growth. So there are only really 4 levers to economic growth. You either get investment, you increase your exports, you increase your government spending, or you increase your consumption. Those are the only 4 ways to grow an economy. And I think that the idea of foreign direct investment coming into Africa, particularly into the technology sector, because we know that all of the businesses that we'll be running in the future, in the next 10 to 20 years, will be technology enabled or sort of technology centric. So they're growing, that the investments that are coming in are actually going into the future of business. So I think that, it's a very, very positive thing overall. I think the only thing that I'm quite sad about is the lack of participation of local investors, because most of the money coming in and actually comes in from abroad, and we're not seeing much local participation, or as much local participation as I'd like to see. So when those investments materialize and liquidate, then it will be, investors taking home most of that money. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think that, foreign direct investment is an important component of economic growth. But I'd love to see local investors that understand the terrain, that can also add value in their own way, investing in the technology sector more as well.
And what is that one thing you think people need to stop assuming about venture capital investment?
I think that people accept that fixed income, so investing in bonds and investing in mutual funds, for instance, is an asset class and requires a certain amount of expertise to do well. I also think that people are very familiar with the public markets in Nigeria, and when people invest in blue chip Nigerian stocks, I think people understand that this is a separate asset class, and there are experts that know how to pick the best stocks and are very good at investing on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. I'm not sure that venture capital is as established as an asset class that people understand and see as a separate asset class with experts of its own. And I'd like to see more of that sort of recognition and establishment and understanding of venture capital as an asset class in the same sort of conversations that you see conversations about fixed income investment and public equity investment as well. I'd like to see venture capital coming up in those same conversations. And I think part of the reason to keep on doing these interviews and keep on speaking about it is to educate people about the venture capital asset class and its unique features.
Dr. Brown, you have had quite the career transition from flying doctors to green tree investment and now health cap. And I'm sure you've been asked this question a lot, but why the change?
So I think that everybody wants to sort of expand the number of assets that they're exposed to and wants to sort of expand their businesses and their business lines. I think, nobody really asked Dangote why he went from tomato to cement to refinery business. I think the answer is obvious, because he wants to expand the number of business lines that he's into and sort of diversify the sort of businesses that he runs. And it's the same thing sort of with me. I love healthcare investing, and I wanted to sort of diversify my expertise in that and make sure that I had a number of companies and equity producing cash flow assets that I could invest in and sort of build with. I think also there's the impact as well of venture capital. Like I said, the future of almost every business in the world right now is going to have some form of technology and innovation. And that's an area where we all should be investing, regardless of the sector that we are in.
And finally, Dr. Brown, you have just released your 5th book titled Journey to Series A. First off, congratulations. But
thank you.
What's in it?
Okay, so I've been working in venture capital since 2015-16, and I felt like I was always answering the same questions to founders around raising capital and raising venture capital for their companies. So I decided to put a textbook together, which was probably the first written by a Nigerian author, putting together all of my learnings and all of the advice that I typically give founders looking to raise venture capital for their technology businesses, including the importance of documenting their financial records, for instance, how to attract investors and how to court investors, some of the metrics that they should be paying attention to as their startup or business grows, how to involve the different teams in their organization, like sales and marketing, like HR, for example, in putting together a really good data room. And sort of I sum it up by saying that the journey to Series A really starts as soon as you start your company. And just to define Series A, the book is called Journey to Series A. And Series A is usually the first large bit of institutional capital that a company raises. And that's why I think it's such an important step in the life of any startup. it's a time when they become fully institutionalized and have large institutional investors in their business. And it's a really, really crucial step for the growth of the technology ecosystem in Nigeria and in Africa.
Well, that was a great conversation with you, Dr. Ola Brown, General Partner at HealthCap Africa. Thank you so much for joining us on Tech Trends.
Thank you. I enjoyed it. Take care.
But that's all we have for you on our lineup this week. Thank you for staying with us. But as always, Tech Trends is here to share insights, trends, and developments happening in the tech space. If you missed any part of the program, you can always catch up on the channel's TV accounts where we have all of our episodes. And I encourage you to watch, share, and like your favorite editions. For Tech Trends, I'm Olayemi Odunuga. I'll see you next time.